Oh no. All right, we're good. Survivor specialist Phil and Alexa are back with another one of our season 40 people winner retrospectives, whatever we're calling it. We still don't have a name, but we are joined today by Troyzan Robertson, who has the most connections, I think, to any winners who are on this season. This is mainly going to be the Sarah Lacina show, but I think we're going to get some Kim talk. I think we're going to get some Sandra talk, some Tony talk, even a little Michelle talk, which is never a bad thing in my book.
Maybe even a Danny Boatwright thrown in there. You know, you never know.
You've got everybody.
I know. There, you gotta dial in. You never know. I wanted to be a winner, so I'll be season 80.
Mm-hmm. There you go, man. Hey, when you're out there for season 8, that's not as far away as you might think.
Yeah, I know. It's actually not. So I'll be a perfect age.
Exactly. Well, I think you've played with 4 people who are on this cast, right? You played with Sandra, you played with Tony, Sarah, and Kim. So you've played with, I mean, pretty much if you play on a season with Troyzan, you just elevate everybody. That's what it is.
It must be. It's like I don't know who to compare myself to in sports, but it's just somebody big.
You're the I don't want to be mean, but you're the 90s Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That's not bad. I mean, they're well known. I mean, I'd rather be an Oakland Raider.
Exactly. But I guess that's like the best comparison we can do here.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it. Whatever.
Hey.
Well, I mean, I played with 2 of probably the best winners. 3 maybe, Sandra considered, won twice. I mean, she's considered probably the best by some. Kim and Sarah are both considered maybe the best women that have played. So if I played with them and I've lost to them, hey, I'll take it.
Hey, you played with Tony.
And played with Tony. So, and actually got Tony out. So, you know what I mean?
Hey, not to pat yourself on the back, right? But
I kind of dig in the old spy grave or whatever the hell he was talking.
Yeah, I love Spy Grave. That's a new name.
The spy grave. I don't know what the hell he was. The bunker, the fucking spy bunker.
Do you think we're gonna get more him digging underground and
I think he's gonna
sneak up on people?
No, I just think he's gonna. I think he's like, well, I'm with winners. I can't do these antics. I can't do some. He'll still be Tony. He's very high strung and like paranoid, and the way he talks to you is very kind of nervousy, and I don't think he can take that away. So he'll be, but he'll be with his own group. I think he might calm down a little bit just because that he knows he's with winners, and there's really no like major targets. I think where it's like, I mean, like everyone's equal in a sense, like,
Andy's going to be with Sarah, and I think they'll definitely use that connection, the 2 of them.
Yeah, it depends if he's with her in the beginning or not. So that's all. It's just, I mean, I'm really curious how they're going to separate people because, they have to know that like a lot of us, we all know each other. And it's like kind of like one of these, especially winners things. And a lot of winners have actually been in events together. So it's like, I know they want to try to separate that a little bit.
Yeah. And I think with Tony, when he came into Game Changers, he was one of the 3 or 4 biggest threats on the island when he showed up. Whereas in this season, I don't think he is. No,
he's not, because, Tony played long enough ago, and then he played crappy enough in Game Changers where people are going to be like, Tony, he went crazy and he could do that his first season, and really control people in the game. In Game Changers, he just blew it. So that's kind of like, maybe that's what they're going to think he is. Like he's a little more like Game Changer. So I think he's got a chance. If he plays just kind of like this, no threat. I mean, he's not really like even physically threatening either to me. Like, like as far as like, he's going to take on challenges and blah, blah, blah. It's going to be, I don't know. It's just, all winners is just the dynamics is just so different. It's just completely different because everyone is thinking, oh my God, everyone knows my game. Everybody knows exactly what I'm going to do and what, what I did. And I don't think that's the truth. I don't think that these people went out and studied every single person that they're playing with and know exactly what's going to happen. And I just think people are going to be a lot more paranoid than what they should be. I do.
And how do you think somebody like Sarah does with that? Because I mean, Game Changers itself is a very random season. I mean, you were out there, but it seemed like it was just there was never really like alliances that were clear cut that we could really follow, at least on TV.
Right.
And Sarah kind of like was able to navigate that really well, but she is the most recent female winner who's going to be on the island. She's the most recent female winner Survivor's had.
And she was cutthroat too. Like her Kagion versus Game Changers way of playing are so different. And this in Game Changers, she was ruthless. She was awesome.
It's gonna be tough, but Sarah has a way of talking to people that they didn't really show in the season, but like on the outside, like we're all the in camp and just in general, like just talks on the beach or what. She has a great way of letting you talk and just in a sense joking around. She's a lot funnier than she comes across as in the show, and that will help her. And I just think it's one of those where she is the most recent, but I feel if she I just feel if she stays calm. I told her going, I said, everyone is crazy paranoid. If you start asking a lot of questions and asking like, what are we doing? What are you thinking? I don't know. And this person, people are not going to like that. You've got to tone it down, especially with winners. You've got to stay as calm as you can. Somebody's going to, one of those winners or a couple of them are going to jump out and stand out and want to take the lead and do this. And said, let them do that because she's good at that. She'll kick back and listen in a group of 6. Won't say anything, and then go ahead and make her own moves. Hopefully, if she makes the merge, I think she's good. It's just that's going to be tough. She just has to find the right group, and I don't know if it's going to be the typical like a glum of girls are going to get together and a glum of guys, or it's going to be the typical like guys stick with guys and girls stick with girls because a lot of times it ends up like girl power thing,
And I think Sarah probably learned because her first time playing, she overplayed her hand where she did kind of get into that, like, I'm the swing vote. Everybody has to come to me. And then they turn around and blindside her. I think because she learned from that, she's able to play so much differently in Game Changers. And I think she already knows what mistakes not to make. Whereas some of these people who've maybe only played once and won don't really realize the errors in their game because it worked for them the first time.
Yeah, I know she can't go the same way. She can't go as hard with this season as she did with Game Changers, where she basically was saying to herself, I'm making the move. I know I'm all alone on these moves, and she could do it back and forth. But with winners, they're going to stop it. They're just going to say no. If she bullshits with somebody once, that's all it's going to take. She's not going to get away with doing it 2 or 3 times like she did with Game Changers, where she would go back and forth. I just don't see her, and I think she knows that too. She can't get away. She told me like Game Changers was the perfect storm. Everything went perfectly the way that it could go. And if it didn't, one thing went out of whack, she wouldn't have won. So, she knows that going in. I actually think Kim is a bigger threat in people's minds than Sarah. Honestly, I do. I think there's this myth about Kim being the best, and she was always like, when you see these like polls of who's the best Survivor winners, she's always up there like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I think people think of her as like, say that?
I think because she's only played once, that's all they know. So she's always going to have that like intrigue until now.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, and it's this intrigue of like, oh, she's the best. She's really, that's Kim, and I mean, whether or not people will be able to read her, because she's also one of those where she smiles and bats her eyes at you and like everything's fine and dandy and, hey, talk to me. Yeah, what's on your mind? Go. She doesn't say anything to you about strategy or what she doesn't ever say, this is what we should do. And I think this is good. She says, what do you think? All the time. And never says
That's smart.
like, she never says this is the better idea. She'll take your idea and somehow change it in your mind like 2 or 3 days later. And then her idea is fine, but she'll never be the one to stand out. And she's very calm and even keel all the time. I mean, even when I was screaming like, "This is my island, don't fuck with me, people," she was like, she turned around, and she goes, "Hey, great job, man." She's like, you really did good in the challenge. Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I just yelled and screamed at all these people. And she's like saying like, yeah, everything's fine. I'm like, what the hell? And it really was, which was funny. They never showed that. She was always like congratulating me on the challenges that I won, or that, you know, she's like, you're really playing well. She constantly was saying that, even though I was like, she knew I was against her. She never, but she never broke. She never was like, you know, going aggro. So that's a huge plus for Kim. She doesn't get angry.
And I almost wonder, like, in her mind, she knows the first time you lose immunity, they're sending you home because she has the numbers. You're one of the last guy threats standing. And I wonder if she's like, I'm already thinking about getting Troyzan's vote at the end here. Like, that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but the thing with Kim though, I think going in, she's gonna go, God, I'm playing with all winners. Now they can't see through any of my, you know, BS in the sense, like, I mean, I'm not playing with, she's going to say this, I'm not playing with like beginners. I'm not even playing. She played with people that didn't even know what Survivor was.
Oh yeah.
And how, in a sense, it worked. So
one of the biggest things that happened in that season, and I always remember this, I have not rewatched One World, Troyzan, no offense, but the one scene I always remember is the night that you decide that you're going to play your idol. And Jay decides to go and tell Kim, right, that you were thinking about voting her. I think you were going to vote out Kim or something, but whatever happened there. And it's like, if Jay Byers doesn't do that, Kim might go home there, or somebody goes home there and you play the idol successfully because they did not know you had the idol.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only guy that I somewhat trusted, and I thought to myself, I didn't tell anybody about the idol when I found it, and for the weeks that I had it, I just thought it's just not good. I just always saw it blow up in people's faces. So when I finally decided, it was like right at the final hour and we're getting ready to go, and we were getting ready to go on lockdown where, you know, we basically can't speak. And I go, I got to tell Jay, because if I tell Jay, he's with me. I have to let him, he has to know, because he's been even saying to me, watch the girls. I'm nervous about him. So I said, dude, I told him the story about asking Kim, and she voted me out, and she's giving me this, rolled her eyes and like acted shifty and said no. And then I looked at Chelsea and said, Chelsea, are you voting me out tonight? And she gave me this like, what? What are you talking about? I said, swear on your father's life. She goes, well, I can't do that. And I go, ding, ding, that the vote. And so I told Jay that story, and he didn't believe me. I go, Jay, if I'm going home, you're next. So if you don't do this, you're going to get voted out right after me. Dude, you got to do this. This is how this game works. The people at the top, they see stuff. And he just was too enamored by her. He just was convinced. She, you know, and I'm like, damn. And then, but what happened? He goes home that night.
He goes home that night.
Yeah.
He looked at me, and I just gave him like I didn't want to say. Well, I wanted to say I told you so, because I basically told everybody that went home. I told Kat. I told Jay. I told Leaf. I told Christina. I told Alicia, in order, I said, you guys, this is how you're going to go. You're getting voted out one by one, because those three are staying. And it's exactly what happened. And every time they left, I'd look me in the jury going, I told you so. So Kim won't have that easy of a time.
Yeah, she's not going to be she's playing with people who've all won. I don't think Jay, I think when you said people who didn't necessarily understand the game, I don't think Jay was the biggest Survivor fan going out there.
No. Kat didn't really know Survivor that well. Sabrina was picked off the internet as they were looking for another Sabrina Thompson to put it in a submission tape, and they found her.
That is the craziest story.
Somebody named Phil Wood, go make a freaking audition tape right now.
I know. So it's like, you know, she had an easy time. I think Sarah's a little bit more a strategist than Kim, as far as like really thinking like what I can do and not do. And, you know, they both asked me like about, you know, how is it to find idol, finding idols, you know, I found 2 idols. And I'm like, listen, you just have to constantly, you know, let them know that you're looking. Like, if, you know, especially now, I just feel like in this season, who knows how many idols are going to break up. I mean, breaking out so many idols lately. And in my season, it's like, I think even in Game Changers, I don't think it was like you play one, another one's getting thrown out. You play one, and that might just be it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially in One World. They weren't like, it was like 2 idols, 2
Yeah,
hidden
you're
immunity
still in the
idols.
early days of.
And that's kind of it. Like
Yeah.
we don't get extra stuff. Like, I mean, I like the days of like nothing, just play Survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
I mean,
I think they're afraid of pagonging though with that happen. Like
that's what they're afraid of.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that idols, I mean, when you watch the finale of 38, you sit there and you're like, okay, like we just watched real idols, fake idols, all these, and like everybody's believing they have an idol, because why wouldn't there just be another hidden idol? And like, I think Lauren had told us in her tell-all, like, oh, I thought that there was going to be an idol nullifier. And like, you just see like all these things, and it's like, but to me, it's no longer as like intense as back when like, did Russell Hantz just find one underneath the bridge? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that was more intense. It was more intense, and it was a bigger deal to find a hidden immunity idol, because that was a real big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like there was one per season, and that was kind of like, wow. And there wasn't like this. I mean, the nullifier thing to me is so like, I just think it's ridiculous, because I really feel like, okay, if I found it, great, it's not ridiculous, but I feel like you kind of go into Survivor knowing a little bit how it's kind of going to go, and that you by watching past seasons, so you kind of like know the game. But it's like going in, it's all of a sudden, if you're thrown this like monkey wrench where I'm going to play my idol, and then someone just breaks it out right after I play it and says, no, that doesn't count. Like that, I just don't see how fair that. What's the point of even having someone find a real idol then? Like, well, I don't agree with that. That's weird.
I don't think the idol nullifier will work every time. I think it was like a perfect case scenario in the David vs. Goliath season, and it just happened to be the first time. It's kind of like with Edge of Extinction. I don't think the Edge of Extinction person would win every time, but it just happened to be the first season, and the person does win. But I think, I mean, with idols and idol nullifiers, I think we're getting all of it on this. I mean, I think there's going to be multiple idol nullifiers in play in 40.
Advantages, steal a vote, and
extra votes, legacy advantages.
Take a vote right after the vote. Take the place of Jeff Probst. Who knows what's going to
become the host.
I mean,
for one night, right? Yeah, you can vote Jeff out, and then Jeff's not allowed to do it anymore. I mean, it could.
The entire tribe gets naked for peanut butter and chocolate.
Throwing it back.
This is a little bit older of a cast this season, Troyzan. I don't know if
we don't know why. There's going to be fuzzy squares, so plenty of that. So
gotta see that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're going to just have to drop for the men, because it's an older season. They have to drop the fuzzy squares down a little bit.
There's an image.
And for the women too, they have to drop them down, because we got.
And now we know. But so I don't think, even though it's all winners and this is an iconic season, I really don't think that whoever wins this is necessarily going to be the best player, because there's so many advantages and so much stuff that it's just there's going to be so much more luck involved in this season, I think, than in normal seasons, because it's going to be who can just navigate that the best.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree.
I mean, your season was full of that stuff, and Sarah navigated that beautifully.
Yeah, well, I mean, and she did it. She had like she said, she had the perfect scenario where she had, I don't know, it was like this group here where they needed her for the vote, and then there's this group here where they needed her. So like when she would vote this way, all of a sudden this group was like on the down. They were out of numbers, so she could go like, listen, I know I screwed you guys over last time, but listen, I really want to vote this way. So she could go back and forth, pretty easily. So I don't know how she did it, actually, because we let her go. I let her lie to me twice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, only because I made a deal with her like early on, like, listen, I'm with you. And she would always say, listen, as much as I made my own move, I had to do this. You are not in trouble, whether or not that's completely true, I'll never know, because we did go to the end together. So maybe she was completely being honest with me, like as far as like saying like I'm not going to tell you every time how I'm going to vote, but you she won't get away with that. And it's like I agree with you though when you said like the winner of 40 is not going to be I don't think it's going to have this oh my god, like where say Sandra won Game Changers and was the third time winner. That would have been the amazing of all that. She then hands down best player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if Sandra somehow sneaks in this one,
that would be insane.
Then that would
even
be
if Parvati I think
that would be the only person where it would be like, oh my God, she really is the best.
I think if Parvati pulls something off, though, people might start talking about her because she's got a huge target on her back. And I mean, she had the huge target going into Heroes Villains, and she goes all the way to Final 3. And then if she has a huge target here and somehow gets to the end and wins, I think Parvati could be like one of those who are like, holy shit. But I could see this season having maybe an Amber type winner from All Stars, where it's like, oh, this is this epic season, it's All Stars. And it's like, but then Amber won, who it's like, obviously all these people won, but there could still be somebody who maybe kind of just like gets by throughout the season.
Maybe Danny Boatwright.
I love Danny. So
I'm a huge Danny fan. I think we all are big fans of her.
Yeah.
I was in the finals of Guatemala with Danny.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You told us.
You told
didn't tell all of you.
Yeah, she come in the gym with her little short shorts, little red short shorts, like Kansas City Chiefs, and she's like, get on the spin bike right directly in front of me on purpose.
If she's not wearing Kansas City Chiefs stuff on this season, I can't watch.
I'm sure she's got to wear Chiefs stuff or some kind of I think she's got her own workout line. I could see her sneaking in though, because she has this kind of like, she doesn't come across as like major aggro, paranoid, that kind of person.
She's pretty chill.
She's super. Yeah, she's a little bit like Monica, but a little more chilled.
Well, now, who do you see Sarah aligning with on this season?
I think Kim and Sarah will align.
Really?
If they're in the same. I honestly think they'll say. I think both of them are going to say something like, "You played with Troyzan, I played with Troy." I really do. I'm not saying that ego wise. I just think that that's the way that they're going to think.
It's a connection.
Any connection, right?
I think any connection. I think that they will. I think that obviously Sarah, at some point, if she's with Tony, will play with Tony. Hope that people think that she's not because of maybe Game Changers, but she's going to do that. What happened? No, okay.
Oh, that was just you. We're good.
No, my Apple screen came on with one of those weird
lights went out on Troyzan over there.
The lights went out, and then that space Odyssey shit comes on your screen. Lost my train of thought. What was I saying about Sarah?
Sarah aligning. You said Tony, Kim.
Oh yeah. Who else would she align with? I got to see the list of who the heck's out there.
Do you need us to start reading off some names?
Read off those names because I don't know.
All right. I got them in order. Oh, Alexa, I finally found my list of how I think the protected order.
Oh, this is who we think is on anyway.
This is who we think allegedly is not. Remember, Troyzan, this isn't coming out till January, so this is who's on the season. But
so we'll know by November.
Yeah, we'll know by then. I'm just so
excited for when we release this in January and it's snowing across the country and you're shirtless in your video.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, what's he doing?
But I look at, and I'll start reading off some names, but when I look at Sarah, I see who she aligned with in previous seasons. She seems to align with stronger guys. You're welcome, Troyzan.
Yeah,
but she does
guys.
Brad, Troyzan. She did align with Tony originally in Kagayan. Right. So when I look at this season, I think could she align with somebody like Ben or Tyson or Wendell, Jeremy? Do you see her aligning with Jeremy?
No.
Why not?
Confidence.
Out of curiosity. This feels like a trap question. It's not.
No. Jeremy's personality is too. He's such a good guy, and I think that she would find him as a threat, against of her winning. She would not want to take him. She would play along, but I don't think she would want to take him to be with him in the end.
Gotcha.
So that's why I don't think she would want him around. No, she wouldn't want that.
Okay.
Same with Wendell. I think she would play with Ben. I think she would play with Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the other guys out there? Tony for sure.
Yule.
Nick. I don't. You'll know Nick. Probably Nick. Yeah.
Nick, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I mean, those are the young. I mean, I've named the younger guy, but like, I'm just who's another older guy besides Ben?
Boston Rob, but I don't see her
no,
aligning with
That's
Boston
gonna
Rob.
happen.
No, I don't see not playing with Boston Rob. I don't see.
I mean,
that
Yule, I guess, is probably the oldest guy out there, right? Yule and Ethan are the two oldest guys.
Yeah. Oh, is Ethan out there?
Ethan's out there, yeah.
She'll definitely connect with Ethan. I'd say probably Ethan number one.
Really? And why do you think that is? What do you think it is about the two of them?
Athlete. Ethan is he's really a nice person. Like in general, he's a nice guy, and he's way old school. I think she will be like, I can play with an old school person. He's not going to be asking her 1,000 questions all the time. He will not come across as paranoid. She will trust him. You know, she's very athletic as well. Like she's really super athletic. I mean, did you see that? She did this like 7 marathons.
7 continents.
Yeah,
7 continents in like 7 days.
7 days.
Yeah. So it's like, and she was really athletic in school, and Ethan's a soccer player. I think that connection will help.
I think she'll do really well in challenges. That's one thing we always want to talk about on these. I think she'll do really well.
Yeah, she'll do really well in challenges. She's good in challenges for sure. Even though she didn't she didn't really win in
Brad won like everything on her season.
Yeah, I know. There was a time where like it was the holding the ball between 2 sticks one, and I thought for sure I was going to win that one because I'm good at and stuff like. But then I'm thinking to myself, God, if I would have won that, they would have voted Brad out. It would have been a whole different game from a completely different game. But then I'm like, maybe it would have been a better game because maybe without Brad,
maybe I should have won that one.
Yeah,
maybe I should have won that. So, but he was always so nerdy because I'm like, I don't want him to go quite yet. I knew he was going to go. I always felt like he's going to go. Yeah, Brad had a target on it from the merge, especially after like Sarah made her switch. There was like 6 of us. There was me, Ty, Debbie, Sierra, Don Thomas, Brad, and Sarah in a 6. And then she voted. We did 2 vote outs. We did Haley, and which I don't know what we wanted to do. And then we did Ozzy. And then right after that, then she switched up.
Yeah. And that was kind of when she won the game, was when she did
pretty much. Yeah. She did the switch. Yeah. She's like, and she's like, I'm not going to do the pagong thing or whatever. It's going to be boring or whatever she thought. I don't know. I mean,
that's both seasons that she played. She found herself in a swing position around that 11, 12 number. Do you see that happening with her again? Or do you think that she's going to have to get an alliance if she wants to win it this time?
No, I think that's just the way she plays. I think she'll do it. I think she will. I think if she needs to make a move, she will, because I think everybody will. I think it's going to not work for 90% of them, but everyone's going to be like, it's a winner's season. It's a huge season in their brains, which I don't know if it's going to end up being a huge season. We'll have to see. I have my I don't know. Like I just don't know if it's going to be so contrived that it's like people are going to go, oh God, these winners, man. Or is it going to be where the winners are just so like nervous that they think they're so great that they're not going to say anything to each other. They're just going to keep their cards this close and no one's going to say anything. It's just going to be like the producer's going to be, we need to get something out of you people. You got to start somebody needs to say something.
Yeah. See, I feel like it's going to be all egos and everyone's going to be telling each other everything.
I know it's all egos and it's people changing their minds right and left. And it's like, I think Sarah will be able, I think she's going to play the same in a sense way. And if she sees there's a move to make, she's going to make it. Cause she's like, I'm not going to get to the end and just sit there and be the person that's not making the moves. That's what she told herself in Game Changers. And I think she's going to do that this time. Kim will be more laid back. I don't think she's going to be one of these, like, I'm making a bunch of moves.
I think she knows she's smart enough to know how big of a threat she is. So she probably needs to chill out a little bit.
Yeah, but I just still think she's going to, even if she doesn't move, I just don't think Kim's going to go that far. I don't.
Yeah. I agree with that.
That actually leads into a question. We have 2 questions that we want to ask everyone for these. For Sarah, what is your guess on where she will place? How do you think she's going to do? It doesn't have to be an exact number. You can say like final 6, merge.
That's what Carl gave us.
You can be as generic or as specific.
Sarah makes the family visit.
Oh, I like that.
Okay.
family visit.
But do you see Sarah winning this season?
Yeah, part of me does.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I like
I
that.
really do. Part of me does.
If you
I don't know,
can't,
maybe she'll give me a bonus because we're such good friends.
Yeah.
All
You're just
the-
trying to
about
get
the
that
bonus,
cut of
because
it.
all
we're
the
such good
advice
friends.
that you gave me, or oops, what did I get any? No, you know.
Whoopsie.
Well, it was like this crazy scenario. We used to talk. What if they ever do what on all winter season? How would you do it? And she would always ask me these questions. Yeah, she's like, if Troy, what do you think? How should I do? What should I? She even said, I wish I could take you out there. She actually wanted me to be. She wanted me to be her loved one.
Oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be
If
amazing.
you
I'd
ran
be
out.
all-
Then she goes, if my husband can't make it, or there's work or whatever, she goes, my mom's not going to do it. She goes, I'm not even going to invite him. She goes, so honestly, I don't have a loved one. She goes, would you do it? I go, in a second.
In a heartbeat.
Can you imagine? And your loved one, Troyzan, goes running around the corner. People are like, well,
Like, wait, that's not my husband.
I'm like, I mean, like I said, we wouldn't talk anything love. We would just talk total strategy, where and how to find an idol, what to do. We'd be going off in the bushes while everybody's eating their hot dogs and stuff and playing the full game.
Yeah.
It'd be classic. And I'd be wearing the green monsters again.
Yeah, that's what we needed. It's I would love that more than anything, because it's like, I think Dale came out for Kelly in Second Chances, which makes sense because it's still her dad. But there'd be nothing better than like, hey, look, it's crazy Uncle Troyzan.
And the green monsters.
I just feel like, and how great would that be for a crazy all winter season? I mean, just throwing in the crazy, like, and now Troyzan's the loved one, and then come running around the corner with the freaking green monsters on, like.
Oh my
like,
god!
What would every other player be thinking? They'd lose their mind. Like, why is Troyzan right there?
Why did I bring my wife?
We hey, what do you? I don't know. What is it?
I love that. Well,
Oh my god!
So family visit. Who's your winner pick for this season, though?
But it can't be Sarah. You have to pick someone.
If it's not Sarah, who do you got?
Michelle.
Oh, good answer.
Now we can talk for another 45 minutes, Troyzan. It just warmed my heart. Why you got Michelle, Troyzan?
Just because, Michelle has never been considered by a lot to be a winner. And Michelle's personality, I spent like 2 weeks with Michelle in Fiji. I mean, we should have hidden a couple of cans of tuna fish out on the islands, but because we were on the island that she's actually on right now. And when we were there, I was like, there was no talk of 40, but I was kind of joking around, like, listen, if we ever go back, we should actually try to hide something over here. Like, who's going to ever know? Like, until they, find us eating out of a can of tuna. Like, is that a can of tuna fish?
Washed up on shore. Whatever.
What the hell is he doing? He's got a can. Yeah, washed up on shore.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think her personality is really, really laid back. She's really good mentally. I think she's good at challenges or mental challenges. I think her attractiveness will help. I think that the fact that Wendell's out there could help, because I think that they dated a little bit, which could, I don't know if people know that or not.
Well, if they're not dating now, then that's a problem, right?
Well, I don't think they, I mean, like, I don't think, they're not, whatever. No, her personality is very not type A, which most winners are super type A, and she doesn't come across as type A to me. So I think she can really get in a good group, even if she's not in a good group. I feel like she can go over to a group where she's on the bottom and be like, listen, I'm stuck. And that's
what she didn't go wrong.
I know. I feel like she can switch over and they'll accept her in, and she's a vote, and she's not going to threaten us. And she's not the kind of person who's doing all that. But I also told her, like, listen, you got to really crank it up at like 6 or 7. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
because I think
she can do it. I just don't think that people are the winners that are out there are going to be like, oh, Michelle.
Who cares? That's what
Aubrey should have won. It's always again, everybody. Aubrey should have won. And I think part of her adds a little bit of like even more of an incentive for her to really be on her game, to be like, hey, fuck nuts.
Mhm.
I won. It doesn't matter how I won. I don't care if you think that Aubrey should have won or not. I won. Like, bottom line is, I won. I figured out the jury or whatever, or it was just the way that it rolled. And if she wins twice, it'll be, that'll be a good mark. And I actually kind of hope she does. I mean, I really, maybe she'll take me to Fiji now.
I'll tell you.
Maybe you're Michelle's loved one.
Yeah, maybe. God,
I was Michelle's loved one.
Well, you could be. Well, I'll talk to her.
It might be.
No, but Michelle,
more her age.
Michelle, a little bit. Michelle was my winner pick back in Co-Wrong, Troyzan. I know, like I'm sure
okay.
But Michelle is like, I'm like the biggest Michelle fan of all time, to the point where like our fans get so irritated because I'm just like, Michelle wins every season. She's the best winner ever. It doesn't matter. But like, I love Michelle. And I really do think, though, you bring up the best point. Everyone out there is such a type A. And when you look at some of these people who maybe didn't play the most type A game, maybe like somebody like a Danny or a Sophie, or I feel like they're going to try to come out and play a very different game to kind of prove themselves early on, and it's going to hurt them. Whereas I don't think Michelle gives a shit. I think she knows she beat one of the best players to ever play the game. Really, like Aubrey is probably one of the best players to not win in the history of Survivor. And so she gets to the end and Michelle still beats her. I think that Michelle knows that, and she's like, I don't really have to change much. Like Sophie beat Coach and Albert. It's not the same. Adam Klein beats Hannah and Ken. It's not the same. Right. Michelle beat Aubrey. And that's saying a lot. And you played with Ty. I mean, Ty's also like not a bad player. He just couldn't really explain why he should win Co-Wrong.
Right. Yeah. No, I really think her personality, and she'll get along really well with the young, even the older guy. I mean, she got along great with me, and it's like she's very easygoing. She's very accommodating. I'm like, hey, what do you think? And she's like, that's great, perfect. She's just this very, and she's laid back. She's just she's gonna be laying on the beach. People will come to her and be like, hey, what do you think? And she'll be like, yeah, great. She's not gonna be a person where people are like, do you look at Michelle? She's like, I just don't think so. If she does some crazy stuff where she starts, talking to everything, strategy, going back and forth, and people see this, I'll be shocked. But I just think she's going to be one of those where she's not going to be a target, not at all. I agree. See it. I don't see it. Have you ever met her? You know her? Talked to her personally?
When we had Julia Sokolowski on the podcast, she popped in for like 5 seconds, but that's the most we've ever spoken.
Okay, I was going to say, but if you ever talk to her, you would know what I mean by the way that she talks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Adam had said something similar when we had Adam on after he won 33. He said something similar. It was like, once you talk to Michelle, you understand why Michelle won her season. And
go watch my Fiji video, and you'll see her in that talking. This is the way that she is.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just like, you can see she's like laid back, and she's funny, and yeah.
And the only detriment, I think, to her game is that she's not great at challenges, but I think we're so far removed, especially in an all-winter season, from like, oh, you're a liability in challenges, that it's going to be like, nobody cares. Like, that's never going to be an issue.
I think it's another plus for her because she's not the worst, and she's not fantastic physically at the challenges, so she'll be able to, so she'll stay in, not being like, oh, she's so bad, we got to get rid of her because we're losing, But then she's going to be in people's minds, well, Michelle's not going to win in the individual challenge. And, unless there's like, she's good, I think, with like numbers and this kind of stuff. And I think she's fairly good with the puzzle stuff. So, I mean, super physical stuff, she'll be just good enough, which is actually the best way to get to 6.
Yeah.
Which nowadays, if you get to 6, you can win.
Then it's anything can happen. And then, she's lucky enough to find an idol or whatever, if they can get something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see Sarah and Michelle ever working together or no?
At first glance, I don't think so.
If they can somehow tie the Troyzan connection together, it's all about the Troyzan connection. Yeah, everyone's gonna connect. It'll be like Danny Boatwright. Oh yeah, you know Troy, right? Yeah. Did you talk? Yeah. Oh, Adam. Yeah, you spoke to him before you went out, right? Yeah, right. Okay.
I really hope so bad that this, like, there's an alliance of 6 and they call themselves like the Troyzan
Troyzan
Alliance.
Alliance.
I really do hope that
Like
that's what they
Danny,
call it.
Sarah, Sandra, Kim, Michelle.
And Adam.
The green
Adam.
gang. The green gang.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
The Green Monsters. I mean, that's a great name for a tribe.
If they did that, that would make my whole season. Be like,
It's a shame they're already out there, so we can't turn around.
I
And be
know.
like, hey,
I know.
guys.
some kind of just any part of Survivor 40 that I could have, it would be amazing.
Well,
I'm sure I'm going to be at the finale of it. I have to go to it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I hope so. We'll end up seeing you there again.
Well, I
You
mean,
know.
if was going to be Sarah's loved one, I'm sure I'm going to get a ticket from Sarah.
Yeah. You're gonna be front row.
If she's running low, though, you know, I got my hand up.
If she's running low, okay, I'll be like, you know, I'll put you in there.
Yeah, exactly. Phil needs a ticket. But yeah, I mean, I think that when I look at somebody like Sarah, I think that Sarah finishes somewhere between like 5 and like 10. Like I see,
really?
That's where I'm seeing her go, because I don't think she goes pre-merge. She'd have to really end up on the wrong side of the numbers to go pre-merge. She does really well, I think, at just navigating
she ends
that.
up like 5th or 10th.
5th, or like between 5th place and 10th place. I think she falls in there.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody's going to let Sarah get to the end, because they saw her beat Brad,
dominated,
who had played such a physical game, and it looked like he was going to pull it out. I don't think anybody's going to let her get to the end to really convince a jury that she should win.
Yeah, I mean, recent winners are going to have a tough time.
and there's a lot of them too.
You know, I got a feeling that, you know, the old school people will probably get together in some way too.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
I just feel like they have a different mentality about what Survivor actually is. And they played it in a different era, and it was different. And they're going to be like, listen, this is the way that we play. There was a little bit more. There just wasn't so much backstab stuff happening, and there wasn't so much luck either. You had to really be a smart person and figure out people better, I think, back then, because there wasn't all, you know, now it's like there's, like you said, Phil, there's this luck, there's crazy luck. Now it's like, I used to think it'd be like 20% luck. Now it's like 70% luck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
it
what
really
tribe did you swap to? Did you get an advantage put in your bag? Like, you know, who had an idol? I mean, when Sari goes home in Game Changers, she's like, well, she didn't go find an idol, so she literally goes home because of that.
Right. I mean, you know, did you find five idols at the end of the season at 1 o'clock in the morning to pitch black?
Yeah.
With no producers around and no camera guys? Yeah, okay.
We're not naming any names, are we, Troyzan?
Sure you did. Yeah. Right. I don't know, but it kind of rhymes with Kevin.
Kind of. One less syllable, I think.
I mean, good for you, but golly, man.
Well, I think it'll be, what I think is going to be interesting is to see, because like I'm kind of writing off Boston Rob. I'm kind of writing off Sandra. But if Ethan and Yule and Parvati, if they start to say like, look, we all played before season 20, let's get together. Let's try to form our own alliance, that like it does kind of become a new school, or like an old school playing the new school game to show that we can get it done. Maybe that happens. And maybe Sandra and Boston Rob hang around a lot longer than anybody thinks they're going to.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if Boston Rob and Sandra and Parvati and like maybe Tyson, you know, they all get together and say, listen, we just need to get, you know, we're smart enough that we know we're just going to be 6, and we're going to stick to 6 no matter what. We don't give a shit what anybody says. We don't care. And it's going to be it's going to be tough for the producers to really be influential on these people. Like they're pretty influential on new people and people coming back for the set, you know, in general. I think winners will be like, you know what, I don't give a fuck what you really think I should do or not do, or what this, you know, or whatever your questions, or it's going to be like, you know, this is what we're going to do. And I think Sandra will be like, she'll take a 6 easily. She'll be like, you want to promise me to 6? I'm in. I'm totally in. Same with Boston Rob.
Because when when you play a first time, you're always thinking like, what can I do to make sure I play a second time? Like the second you don't think you can maybe pull off the win, you say, okay, what can I do to play a second time? And you see that all the time. I mean, War Dog made the move this season on Kelly Wentworth. It's going to be remembered forever. But was it a good move? No.
Right.
And War Dog admits it wasn't a good move.
Right.
But he does that, and War Dog's probably going to be asked to play again. But with all these winners, I just don't think they care. It's like, no, I already won once. All I'm worried about is winning the second time. I don't need to play again. I just want to win a second time.
And I'm not sure if the jury is really going to be one of those where, like, you know, who made the big moves kind of thing, even though I think producers are going to be like, listen, we need the big move, the person who made the greatest moves of all time, because they're going to be a 40 winner. I think that 40 people's egos are going to be so
This can be an angry jury no matter what.
butthurt that they're going to be angry and they're going to vote for someone that they actually like old school a little bit.
Or Michelle.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be like, you didn't really burn me that bad. You didn't fucking like talk about family and life. And I knew you. I talked to you outside the game about this, like, and you totally burned me. So you're an asshole. And then they're going to, I just don't feel like it's going to be like, I don't care what kind of game that you think that you played, you know. I think that certain winners' egos are going to get hurt, and I think that a more of the jury are going to vote on someone that they actually like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see it going that way too. It'll be. I'm pumped though. I mean, either way, I can't wait to watch 40. Like, I just can't wait to see the actual dynamic once they actually hit the beach, because we have so many theories because we've seen them.
I'm just ready for the Green Monster.
Poor season 39.
I know. I feel so bad.
Well,
for them.
don't worry. We're releasing this after season 39 because that's like what we're like, so we don't take away from 39. But it's funny that like we're even saying that now, because I feel like the entire time. Let's see if this prediction comes true. The entire time 39's on, all anybody's be talking about is 40. Nobody's even going to talk about it.
I know. Well, we'll see. It's like I'm more curious to see if those statues are really real. I'm going to laugh and do these.
Those are something.
Goddamn statues. I want a statue.
That's it.
I want to go back to. I want to go back to Fiji. I want to go to the islands that we actually played on, where I did before, and look for these giant statues that they stash it out in the jungle someplace.
I love it. I love the idea.
I'm going back to Fiji for. I think in September, October again. So I'm gonna look.
Bring the canned tuna fish.
I know. I'm gonna bring the tuna fish. I'm gonna look for the giant statues again.
Go take one. Run away with one.
I'm gonna film it.
You're gonna have the Sanders statue in your backyard the next time we see you.
Oh God, yeah, the Sanders statue.
I love it. I love it. Well, do you have anything else you want to throw in there, Troyzan, or are we?
I think we covered everything. It's like the Green Monster Gang, the loved ones.
You're gonna be all over the season.
I mean, I'm gonna be all over this season. If not, I'm just gonna have to tweet like crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Make it about you, even if it's
I really should have said to all of them, listen, in some way, sneak in. You got to sneak my name in there somehow.
Well,
they'd be getting screamed at by the producers.
Yeah.
Oh, they would edit it out. They'd edit it out anyway.
Well, when you hugged Jeff, we freaked out because we have a bet about that. So maybe we'll make a bet that your name comes up in this season.
Oh yeah, I did hug old Jeff.
That's how we became friends.
That's how we
That's happened.
Holy shit.
Hugged him. Well, I fist pumped him the first time in One World. I gave him the double fist pump because he doesn't. Someone said, like, you know, I think they mentioned don't go run up to Jeff. Don't do. I don't know.
Touch him.
As Aubrey gores him.
Aubrey speared him.
I know. Now it's like now everyone does it.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, Alexa. Well, I guess however we're taking these.
All right. I don't know how to take this home because this will be mid-January.
Move that microphone in real quick. Right in the center.
Alexa has to make the mistake every time.
Right in the center.
I know.
All right, Troyzan, is this where you want it?
Yeah, no. Just go like this.
I'm doing it.
So for those of you who are listening, this has become one of those explicit tags on YouTube. Make sure to not watch this anywhere near your parents.
Can you even put your hand around that microphone, Alexa?
Oh my! Alexa, end it.
I'm ending it. Everyone, make sure to keep subscribing. We have 2 million subscribers. We've really blown up since June 23rd when we actually recorded this. We're verified on all of our 5,500. Yeah, we jumped up to 2 million. Keep hitting that subscribe button and keep listening to these. We're having a ton of fun recording these. And Troyzan, as always, we love having you on.
Alexa and Phil are the best. It's the best podcast of all Survivor podcasts.
Green Monsters.
Thank you, Troyzan.